And we're going, oh, look at that.
Didn't want that.
Oh dear. Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome back to my channel for another video with Luke.
Hi.
I'll link his channel down below.
Thanks, sis.
These shadows have been winding both of us up. Look if our head's like makes like a little Venn diagram.
Oh, I love a Venn.
But this is what we're dealing with. Maybe if I move the lights like more out that way. Like
Give
so
it a go.
fits on. Oh, let's try it.
Let's try it.
No. Okay.
Return.
Now's the moment of truth. Oh, that is better. Oh, I am a pro. Look at me.
You are. There's a reason
am.
why you're doing these sorts of things.
Right. So, do you want to tell the people what today's video is about?
Yes. Today's video.
Such conviction. I love it.
Yes. Today's video is a part 2 of our horror stories of when we worked at a kids' play centre.
Yes.
Although I realised when we rewatched the video, we told them we were going to refilm it that day. Obviously, we have not, because we had technical difficulties.
I accidentally deleted all the footage. So last time we filmed it, we just continued filming.
Yeah.
It was like for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then I deleted that footage before I uploaded it because I'm an idiot. So
these things happen.
we're just gonna
so we're here
today.
again.
It's fine.
We're here again.
Quick little like reminder for anyone, or if people haven't watched the first video. Me and Luke worked at a kids soft play centre. Lots of people didn't know what soft play is.
Funny that.
Yeah, it's like basically those places you go where it's just like a big like frame that kids like climb up. There's a big slide, ball pits,
all that.
like rock climbing wall things,
yeah.
stuff like that. Right, so should we just tell our story?
Should we just begin?
Begin. You can start.
Okay. Let me see what I got. I don't even know if they're
You've got a
worth
list
telling.
again.
Okay. I think we did. I think we can both tell this one because I think you actually know it more than I do.
Okay.
And I think we did tell it last time, but I don't know if it made the cut of part 1. It might have been a part 2E that we deleted. But that kid that broke the telly.
Oh yeah, I think that was part 2E.
They were a regular family, right?
Yeah, so these people come in every week. But it wasn't like a family, it was like, I don't know if it was like their auntie, their mum, or just like a babysitter or whatever.
Oh, possibly.
But it was just like this woman who would come in with them and she would sit there on a table and just read a magazine. She wouldn't move, she'd sit on the same table every single week and she would just sit there. And like if you tried to speak to her, she'd just like ignore you, she'd just sit there.
Yeah,
do you
that
remember?
was weird, wasn't it?
It was really
And then
weird.
the kids that she brought to the play centre were the worst children
Devil children.
I've ever come across.
They were literally every single week they'd be like, it was always a Sunday, I think it was a Sunday.
I think it was a Sunday.
And whenever there was a
Day.
problem on a Sunday, you knew it was these devil children. It'd be things like throwing other children down the slide, or throwing toys down the slide, or just like punching another kid in the face, or something like that. It was always these kids. It was a little girl and a little boy.
A little boy, yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember this day being like the top tier worst.
It was the worst
day.
day. This is the day they
these
got banned.
kids.
They weren't allowed to come back after this day.
I forgot they got banned.
Yeah.
Oh, the drama. So we used to have little, it's really hard to explain, isn't it, when people haven't like seen it?
It's weird.
But we used to have like these little rooms for the kids to go in as well, perhaps for the ones that found the whole frame aspect of it like daunting.
It was like playrooms, like themed playrooms.
So it's like a little vets, a little like supermarket and things like that, and they were like very cute rooms.
Yeah.
And one of them had like these little like plastic brooms.
Like
so the kids could
brooms.
like clean up and stuff. And these bratty children took a broom. Oh, and one of the rooms we had, I should probably give you even more context. Such a bad storyteller. One of these rooms was like an Xbox, well we called it the Xbox room, but they had little Xboxes that had like, I don't know what you call them, motion sensor games. So we had a room filled with them, which sounds really fun, but then when things like this happen, you realise what a disaster it is.
Yeah.
This bratty, I think it was the boy, wasn't it, that did it?
Yeah, I think so.
Took one of the brooms and just smashed the
This
television.
TV.
Did he do more than one?
He did more than one. So he smashed the first one, then ran away. And then whilst all of our staff were running around like headless chickens trying to find the kids, they went back and did it again. And I think in the end they smashed 3 TVs.
They might have done.
So we had 6 in total, and I think they smashed 3 of them. I was the manager that day, but I remember like seeing it all go down. I remember thinking like, thank the Lord, I'm the manager this day.
Yeah.
And I remember the manager going up to the mum and being like, your kids have just done this, like, what are you going to do about it? Because they just caused like probably about £3 grand worth of damage.
So much money.
In about 5 minutes.
Oh.
And the mum literally just like did nothing. She just sat
care.
there, continued looking. So in the end, we had to like ban her because they had like passes. They had annual passes.
Did.
So we had to like take the annual passes away from her, tell her she's never allowed to come back again. I just got my hand caught my hair. And
terrible.
Yeah, £3,000 worth of damage.
And she did not care. I don't understand how
she
people can be like that. How can you not?
I would be so apologetic. I'd be like,
God,
oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Nothing. She just did not care.
I don't understand how people can be like that. But yeah, that was a dramatic one.
That was so much fun.
I love how much you love
drama day.
the busy dramatic days.
I never get them anymore.
No.
I just sit here in this spot where you're sat right now. I finished reading that book today.
Is it good?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The smell of the book. Oh. Fave. They need to make that a janky candle.
I know, you've always said that.
I always
don't know how they'd be able to capture the smell of a book.
There must be a way.
There must be a way. Anyway,
sidetrack. Any
I have a good story, which I don't think I've ever told you this before, and it's so funny.
Oh my God, tell me.
This happened probably like this time last year, so it was like quite a recent
one.
Yeah. So,
spill the tea.
I was manager. It was a Sunday. It's always a Sunday.
It's Sunday. It's supposed to be a day of rest.
I know. And I get called over to reception, and I'm like, yeah, how can I help you? And the receptionist's like, oh, there's this guy over there who wants to speak to you. It's like this guy in the tracksuit, and I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I was like, did you seem angry? She was like, no, not really. Just he wanted to speak to you. I was like, cool, all right. So I head over to speak to him, and he's like, yeah, I've just been down your slide, and it's caused my brand new tracksuit bottoms that I only bought this morning to like wear away. So not like rip or anything like that, just like wear away. So they're like thinner in one patch. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, I'm really sorry about that, but
I don't know what you're supposed to do in that
exactly.
situation.
I was like, I can't really do anything for you.
No.
Like, well, are you not going to give me the money for them? I was like, well, you can't prove to me they were bought this morning. You can't prove that it happened on that slide. I don't know what you want me to do. That hasn't even got weird yet. It hasn't even got weird yet.
Sorry.
So he was like, oh, can't you like call your manager to like ask him? I was like, well, I am the manager and I'm telling you I don't really know what can be done. But I was like, give me like 10 minutes. I'll go like ask like a fellow manager and see like what they think. But I was like, I don't think there's anything we can do for you.
No.
Like, and he was being like really nice about it. So it wasn't being horrible. If they were horrible, I would just be like, no.
No, get out.
Because he was being really nice. I was like, just give me a second. So I like go under the stairs and I called our boss and I was like, right, really weird one. I was like, I'm not really sure what to do in this scenario. I thought I'd like give you a call anyway just to like ask. And she was basically like, what I said, he can't prove he bought this one, he can't prove it was our slide that like
did the damage.
Did it. And I was like, right, okay. So I go back to the guy and I'm like, listen, I've spoken to like the owner. She's saying the same as I am. Like, the most I can do is give you her email address if you want to contact her directly. But I was like, but I can't give you money out of the tills for a pair of trousers that you may or may not have bought this morning and may or may not have broken on the slide.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Can you take some photos of it for me? So I was like, what do you mean photos? So I just wanted to have some photos like proof. And I was like, okay. Looking back on this now, like, was he some weird pervert? Suddenly I'm like, is he a pervert? But he like hands me his phone and he's like, he like turns around. He basically wants me to take a photo of his arse with this like worn away bit in it. But of course when he stood up you can't really see it. So he literally bends over, he's touching the ground. He's like, oh, can you like kneel down, like get a photo from like this angle? And I'm literally here like, I'm taking all these photos thinking what the fuck is going on. There's like other like parents are looking at us like, what are they doing? I'm like, because I like, first of all I went along with it because I thought I just wanted me to take a photo of like his back. So like, just the back. But it's when he started doing like the weird yoga poses to try and get me to take photos of all angles. So he wanted like proof of this like worn away bit. And to me, I couldn't even really see it. I still don't know.
Oh,
and now I'm suddenly thinking that maybe he was just a pervert. Maybe he like enjoyed making me feel like uncomfortable, making me take photos of like his arse.
Was he attractive?
No. Like he wasn't old, he was pretty young. He's probably like 30.
Damn.
But like it was just a really weird interaction.
That is odd.
And
like I say, like what does he expect you to do?
I know, because he was like, can you not get me like a tenner out of the till? I was like, no, I can't get you a tenner out of the till.
How it works.
Like how am I gonna like put that through like when I'm cashing up later?
That's so weird. I can't believe you've told me that. That's a funny story.
It was really weird. Really weird. And I'm still processing it now.
Me too.
And I don't think he ever emailed the photos. I don't think he ever like did anything with it.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part. He definitely...
I mean, it might have done, but I never heard about it.
Maybe it's just a little kink of his that he likes girls looking at his bum so much.
Yeah.
That he creates these scenarios.
It was so weird. It was really weird.
That is an oddity. I think you win. I don't think the stories are going to top that.
I should have said that one to laugh.
You should have.
What's your next story?
Let me have a look. Oh my god. Do you remember the kid at the top of the frame? I can't remember if I did speak about this in the first one.
The kid at the top of the frame?
Yeah.
No.
I was on reception, which was odd anyway.
That's very odd, yeah.
Luke
had one job in the place, and it was a position that was made up for him because he refused to do anything else.
I'm a diva. So I was on reception, which I was hating. I was so bored, and I prayed and said, please, can something happen? And then immediately regretted doing that because something happened.
Maybe God is real.
God's real.
Oh my god. Oh my
god. And something, I just happened to look up, and at the very top of the kid's like climbing frame was a child, but they were on top of the frame.
Oh, like on top of the netting,
top of the net, meaning they had climbed up.
I remember hearing about this,
on the top. And I just spotted him, and I just like, everything in my body was like, I don't know what to do. Like, my brain was just like, how did he get up there? How do I get him down?
Yeah.
What's the situation? And I think...
So he like Spider-Man climbed.
He did, that's literally how I described it.
And then like on top
of the frame. So he was on the netting at the top. His head was touching like the ceiling.
Oh my god.
I've never seen anything like it. I was like, what's going on? And then I think a party host who was waiting for her guest to arrive had seen my face, turned around, and then she turned to me and was like, and we were both just looking at each other like, oh my god. And then we like ran.
Oh my god.
And I just like got there and like, you know when you're like freaking out and you don't know what to do, I just went, get down! Get down! And like, while I was saying it, I was like, I don't know how he's going to do it. And then like, I had all the images like, oh my god, he's going to just fall. And because it's like, although it's like a kid's play centre, it's like a hard floor. And so I was just like, oh my god, he's going to fall and he's just going to smack on the floor. Possibly die.
Things like, what do you do in that scenario?
Exactly. Other than scream, get down, I didn't know what else to do.
No.
And then, like, so I tell the party host, I'm like, find his mum, find whoever he's with. So she's like, runs off. I think she does an announcement in the end. And I say to the boy, I'm like, get down. And he's like, yeah, okay. I thought this was going to be the most stressful, horrendous thing ever. And he just like had a whole way down and he knew it and he just came down. And I was just like, please don't do that again. And then like his mum came over and I explained the situation. I was like, please watch your child. But like, it wasn't that bad in the end. The outcome was fine. But in the moment,
it could have been bad.
I was freaking out. Can you imagine if he like did just trip and fall and like...
Imagine if the netting like gave way. Because that's not made for somebody to stand on top. It's made to stop kids escaping out the top.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this was probably again around this time last year. We're very, very busy. In the winter, always very busy. As soon as it rains, you've got like 1,000 customers in the building.
Yeah.
1,000, 600-700.
Yeah.
Probably about 1,500 throughout the entire day.
Throughout the day.
So you can see before you walk into the building that it is busy. There's usually a queue out of the door, or there's like a bunch of people stood in the reception area. You can clearly see that there's no tables and stuff like that. It's not the kind of place where you have no idea of how busy it is before you go in. That's basically what I'm trying to say. You can see as soon as you like park up in the car park, like, shit, it's a busy day.
Yeah.
Do I want to go in there or not?
The answer is should be no.
Should be no.
Always.
When you see a queue out the door, the answer is no.
Don't do it.
Basically, when it gets busy, we have to do like a 1 in, 1 out system, like health and safety. You can't have too many customers in the building, so you literally have to wait for one family to leave before you let another in. And like parents will get so angry at that. So it's busy. This woman comes in. She probably has to queue for about 20 minutes to get into the building.
Right.
Not only is it enough that people can use their eyes and see how busy it is, if they're blind, they can use their ears and hear how busy it is, because it's a metal building with 1,000 people inside, so like there's a lot of noise. There's signs everywhere, because when it gets busy, we put up signs saying limited seating. There may be no tables for you to sit at. Like, so just so they're all very aware, so that they don't get angry at the staff when they walk in and there's no tables. Anyway, this woman does exactly that. She walks in with her kid, she pays. I hear the receptionist say to her, so I'm stood behind the receptionist. The receptionist says to her, by the way, we've got limited seating, you might not find a table. She's like, whatever, fine. And so this woman goes in. And 10 minutes later, she comes marching over to me with like a face like thunder. And I'm thinking like, oh Jesus Christ, something's happened.
Yeah.
So she comes over, she's like, there's no tables. And I was like, well, you knew that before you came in. Like, there's signs everywhere, you can see it's busy, and I heard the receptionist tell you. So I was like, so you knew there was no tables before you came in. She said, this is ridiculous. She's like, how am I meant to get dinner for my daughter? And I was like, well, not really my problem. You paid the money to come in. You knew there was going to be no tables. I was like, I don't really know what you want me to do. I was very polite about it, of course. Like, it wasn't horrible.
You weren't just like, eat on the floor.
No, I was like, there's nothing really we can do. Like, you had lots of warning. And so she starts like ranting and raving at me. And I'm sort of just looking at her thinking like, you're going to make my life so miserable if you stay here. So I said to her, I was like, right, give me 10 minutes. I was literally in the middle of like, I think I was booking a party for another family at the time. So she'd come over and like interrupted me like dealing with like a party booking. So I said to her, I was like, right, give me 10 minutes and I'll like see what I can do. I was like, do you have your receipt? No. Okay, right, okay. Just go away, come back in like 10-15 minutes. And I was like, then I'll help you out as best I can. Just wait there for the woman to come back, marching back over because she's been watching the entire time. I was like, right. I was like, I could offer you a refund if you had your receipt. But I was like, but you don't have your receipt. So I was like, so there's not much I can really do for you. I don't really know what you want me to do. So she was like ranting and raving at me, and I'm like, you're an idiot, you saw. Like, are you the kind of person who just likes to cause an issue?
Some people do.
And I'm just trying to be so polite, I'm trying to like be so nice. But like, my hands were in a bind, I couldn't do anything, so you couldn't really do a refund on the system unless you had the receipt to like find the order.
Yeah.
So she's going on and on and on. I was like, right, okay, give me 2 seconds. So I like get the bin out from underneath the till. Because you know, like sometimes you hand over a receipt to somebody, then I know they don't want it, and so you just throw it away.
Yeah.
So I like get the bin out. So I'm looking, because it was just her and her daughter. So I'm looking through all these like abandoned receipts, looking for one that was just like an adult and a kid. Try to find it. So she stood there like huffing and puffing, and I'm looking at her. I'm like clearly like going out of my way right now to try and help you out. So I'm like trying to like keep my cool, and I'm like looking through this fucking bin, looking for a receipt. And eventually I find one. So like, right, okay, I was like, I can use this receipt, but I was like, we're gonna have to wait for these girls on the tills to clear these customers, because I'm not gonna steal a till from one of the girls and just do it. So I was like, again, sorry, just you're gonna have to like bear with me. And she's like still going on, she's like, this is fucking ridiculous. She's like, I just wanted to have a nice day with my daughter, I wanted to get her food, and instead I'm stood here talking to you. And I was like, excuse me.
I hate that.
And I lost it.
Did you?
And I literally said to her, I was like, listen, I'm trying to help you as best as I can. I don't need to help you out at all. I was like, I'm doing this to try and be nice, to be a good person. And I was like, I don't have to do anything for you right now. I was like, if you're going to talk to me like that, then you can either leave, we can go and like play with your daughter, who was nowhere to be seen. She wasn't supervising her, clearly wasn't that bothered about getting out, because she had already let her daughter play for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I literally said to her, I was like, I don't have to help you, I'm doing this to be nice.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a customer switch so quickly from
that.
Being an absolute dick to being like so sweet and nice. She's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. She's like, yeah, I know, you're just trying to help me. Yeah, I really know it. I was like, right. So I suggest if you go and sort of like stand somewhere or sit somewhere if you can find a seat. I was like, I'll sort this out and I'll come and find you once it's done. She's like, oh, thank you so much. You're so great. You're so great. I'm going to go to your website and leave you a review. And I was like, yeah, you better. But it's so funny, she was being so rude and so horrible, but as soon as I called her out with it, it's like when somebody leaves you a hate comment and you reply to it, then all of a sudden they're like, oh my god, I love you.
Yeah. I hate that.
Oh my god.
I hate that.
It's not that much of an interesting story, but it just shows that people are dicks.
It does. And like, it's like a weird thing, because it's like, you get hit with like insults, but then at the same time you kind of win.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I don't know how to feel right now. Am I happy that I won? Or is it just really annoying?
It's just annoying, isn't it?
We used to do, I think we spoke about it, we touched on it last time, we used to do face painting at like events and things, or like seasonal times of year.
Yeah.
And just to get more people in. And we weren't professionally trained, we just did it by choice.
Yeah, we wanted to.
Yeah, we discussed, I think, last time, all the awkward experiences where kids would go away, wash it off and come back and demand more, and you'd have like sweaty, gross children, all of that jazz. But there was this one girl, I do know her name, but I'm not going to say it because that's rude. But there was this one girl who I know she was a child, and I probably shouldn't have such aggressive hatred towards a child, but I did not like her. She smelt like poo all the time.
Wait, can you tell me who it is?
She smelled like poo all the time, and she...
I don't know how.
No, me neither.
But she did. She always stunk of poo.
Always.
Always.
And she... It's very sweet of her, I guess.
My nose rings were caught. Wait a sec. You can carry on. I'm just
picking your nose.
So they don't think I'm picking my nose.
You're picking your nose.
I'm picking my nose.
It was very sweet of her, I guess, but she was like waiting for me. So there was more than one face painter, but she was like waiting for me to paint her face. So I saw her in the queue and I was like, this fucking bitch. So I was like painting a child's face, and then like she was like 3 kids away in the queue. And I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to plan a fake wee, like a fake toilet break. So I took my time with this child, finished, and there was still like 2 kids in front of her. So I was like, guys, I need a wee. I'll be back in a second. Went to the toilet, scrolled through Twitter, killed some time.
Yeah.
Like waited, and then I was like, she's got to be done by now. Come out the toilet where her mum is waiting for me and goes, oh, she's waiting for you, by the way. And I was like, you fucking what? And like, that's the end of the story. It's not too dramatic, but to me, that was like the worst horror story.
I remember you telling me about that. I was like,
I am trying to get away from your child, and she won't leave me alone.
My next one is a dramatic story. Actually, I might have told this in the second part last time. But basically, there was this party. But it wasn't like a party that they booked with us. So they just come in, and they basically came in and like put together like 6 tables. So it's what we recommend people to do if they want to have like a party but not like a actual party with us. We just say you turn up early, put together a couple of tables being the like keyword there. But anyway, this family turned up, they put together 6 tables. They're fine for the first couple of hours. I'm like manager that morning, and like I'm keeping an eye on them because I'm like, there's a lot of adults and a lot of like very rowdy children. Like, but they're just having fun, whatever. So when it's busy, our allotted time that people be allowed to play would be 2.5 hours. They basically get like wristbands, we call out the colour on the wristbands and like say to them after 2.5 hours, like, it's your time to go.
Yeah.
So I'm very aware of the fact that it's now like 11 o'clock. No, midday. It's midday. And I'm calling out these wristbands and none of them are leaving. And I'm thinking like, right, we're busy, but we're not like crazy busy. They're spending quite a lot of money like at the servery. So I'll let them carry on playing for a little bit, but like if they don't leave next time we call out like the next batch, then I'll go over to them. So for some reason after that point, it must just be like fate. I don't think fate's the right word. The universe must hate me. Yeah. From that moment on, they start to cause all the problems under the sun. I have people come to me like left, right and centre, like, oh, there's this group of kids that are like beating up other kids on the frame. And then I have the staff come over to me from servery, be like, oh, there's this group of kids that keep like stealing things of the servery, and I'm thinking like, of course it's those kids, of course. So I decided to like be a nice person and not make them leave. But no, now they start causing problems. Because the issue was the kids were getting bored. The mums were all sat there chatting for like 2.5 hours. Yeah. And the kids were like over it. Yeah. I mean, like 2.5 hours, like there's not
They've done everything.
Yeah. So the kids were getting bored and they were starting to act up. So I go over to the mums and I'm like, hey guys, like just to let you know that you were meant to leave like an hour ago by this point. I was like, and your kids are really starting to like cause some problems. So I've had a few complaints. If you can just like keep an eye on them, but also like maybe start to like make a move out the door, that'd be fabulous. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Okay. I was like, cool, thanks, great. So I like carry on doing my thing. Like an hour later, I'm like, they're still here, and their kids are still causing issues. And so I was like, for God's sake. So I go over to them again. I was like, hey guys, really sorry, but like you're going to have to leave now. I was like, you're only allocated 2.5 hours, and we're quite busy, so you're gonna have to leave. That point, they start to get really like mouthy back at me.
For goodness sake.
And then I was like, we've paid to come here. It's our kid's birthday, and you can't kick us out. I was like, well, if you look at your receipt, I can. Yeah. It's like your receipt is your contract, and it says 2.5 hours, and I'm asking you to leave, so leave.
Bye.
And they're starting to get like really mouthy and rowdy at me. And I mentioned this in my last video, but mums are so rude towards female managers.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think it's because I'm very short, so I look really young. So, like, even though I would be, like, 24 at this point, I looked about 18.
Yeah.
So they just immediately assume that I have no, like, authority whatsoever.
Yeah.
Which is, the point is I'm a manager and I should have authority no matter whether I'm 18 and, like, or
Absolutely.
if I'm, like, 6'2" and 30 years old.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
But it starts to get really mouthy with me. And the thing is, once they sort of get in that mindset, nothing you can say is going to change their mind.
The worst.
Like, they've decided that they're not going to listen to me. They've decided that I'm too young. I think, actually, one of them started to, like, say I'm too young to be manager and all that stuff.
Oh, for goodness sake.
As they always do. So I was like, for God's sake. But at that point, the afternoon manager comes in. So I go up to the afternoon manager, and he's, like, 6'3", like, a he. So I'm like, can you, like, help me deal with these? So he goes over, and he tries to talk to them. Luckily, they were exactly the same with him.
Oh, nice.
So...
Makes you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, it wasn't just me, but also, like...
Still annoying.
Yeah. And they're refusing to leave, and their kids are being shit. So they've probably stolen at least, like, 20 quid's worth of stuff from the front of the servery, like crisps and, like, cookies and stuff like that. So I go up to our boss, who was luckily in the building upstairs.
Nice.
And I was like, hey, like, here's the situation. Me and Ross have both, like, tried to, like, get them to leave. I think it was Ross. Can you, like, come and just help us out? And I hate doing that, having to go to the owner and be like, please help me. But
yes.
Sometimes,
if
the owner's not there, your only other option is to call the police.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to go to the owner. So she comes downstairs and tries to talk to the mums as well. And again, they don't listen. And they're starting to, like, they're in her face, shouting at her, screaming at her. But you know what she was like?
Yeah.
She just sat down at their table, crossed her arms, and just sat there with them.
Love that.
And there's all these mums that are just looking at each other like,
yeah.
What do we do? And as she sat there, she gets out her phone and dials the police. And she, like, calls the police.
Oh my gosh.
And at this point, the mums were all, like, trying to decide, like, okay, do we, like, carry on being stubborn? Do we sit here? Like, is she bluffing? Like, what do we do? And they stayed there for another, like, half an hour after our boss had called the police. And I can't remember, I think they left before the police turned up, but, like, just before the police turned up.
Oh, if only.
But it's just, like, they were there in the end, I reckon, about 7 hours.
That's insane.
I first asked them to leave at about 12, and I don't think they left about 5.
It's a shift.
That's the whole shift they were there for.
Why are you there for a shift?
Yeah, and it was a busy day as well, so as well as dealing with them, I was dealing with everything else.
And they're taking up people's tables.
They're taking up 6 tables.
That's so annoying.
That's enough tables for 6 times 4. 24.
Yeah.
24 people that are currently waiting to get in the building, and they're refusing to...
The worst kind of people. Okay, I had one where we were, like, first aid trained, but we weren't, like, medically professional. Yeah. It was just, like, the basic first aid
training. We're not doctors. Very basic first aid training.
And I'm as we established with the kid on the top of the frame, I'm like, in the moment, I'm like a panicker.
Yeah.
Like, not the one. I had an instance where I had 3 first aids at the exact same moment, and no one else was, like, first aid trained at that time.
No.
Like, so when they did an announcement for a first aider, I, like, ran over. Very simple to start off with. A girl had fallen over in the car park before she even made it into the building.
Right,
and had, like, cut her knees. And I was like, fine, can deal with that.
And we've got no liability for that either.
No.
So if that goes wrong, then we're just being nice, helping out.
True. I was like, I can deal with that, that's fine. Sit down here. As I was sorting it, a boy comes over. Luckily, it didn't look gross or anything. But you know, like, we had, like, a basketball, football-y area.
Yeah.
You know when you, like, bend your finger back against the ball, like, too far?
You, like, catch it.
Yeah, and it's, like, horrible. I used to sit in PE sometimes, and I used to be like, oh! And he came over and he said that had happened, and, like, obviously there's no, like, physical injury, but I was like, I know the pain. So I was like, don't worry, I can put, like, some ice on it. So I get them sat next to each other, these 2 little kids. I'm like, there you go. And then I turn around, and there's this little boy, must be, like, 3? 2 maybe? Like, toddling around. He comes up to me, tears everywhere, lip in half.
In half?
Yeah, his lip was, like, open. And lips and tongue, they fucking bleed.
Yeah, they
do. He was covered in blood. Like,
oh my God.
From his lip, like, down to, like, his hips was just, like, blood. And that was the moment where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't even want to be alive anymore. So on top of having to, like, deal with him, which I did, but maybe not too well, but I gave him, like, water and ice and was just like, here you are.
What more can you do?
What can you do?
Water
and I like
ice
mopped up a bit.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, I have to like carry this bloody child around to try and find some sort of parent. Which we did eventually, but Jesus Christ. And to deal with just like the three of it all at the same time, I was like, I can't do it.
Because not only did you have to do the first aid, you had to get them to fill out the forms as well.
An accident
form. So that every time, even if like... even if it was just a kid like got a bit of slide burn on the hand, you know when you go down the slide too quickly, like friction. They used to get that all the time, like either on their hands or their bums.
Yeah.
Or like on their legs.
Yeah, even you had to do a whole report for that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Just to save our asses, basically.
And it was always really annoying, like having to like go over, because most of the time like kids didn't even need anything, but they'd like be crying, so mum would be like, just do something. You'd be like, yeah, but if I give them an ice pack, I'm gonna fill out this whole like A4 page form.
And they have to sign it and stuff.
Yeah, and then you've got to like sign
details.
it. Oh.
The worst.
The worst would be when like you'd have a really bad accident. So not very often, probably in the whole time we're there, probably like 6 maybe broken limbs.
It wasn't awful. I thought it would happen a lot more than it did.
Yeah, but like I remember once I wasn't dealing with it, but I was like overseeing it. So a kid broke, I can't remember if it was a wrist or their ankle. I think it was her ankle actually.
Oh god.
But it was like basically one of the laser parties. So all that happened, she'd been running along and she just like stepped on it wrong and it just yeah. And like so she's like screamed obviously.
Yeah.
And so like the first aid has gone over and like sat her down in a chair and everything, and luckily her mum was there.
Thank God.
And so the mum had stayed for the party. So the mum comes over and she's like fussing over her kid, like rightly.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we say to mum like, right, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to call an ambulance? Do you want to take her yourself? Like she needs to go to hospital obviously. And the mum's like freaking out. Like in the moment she has just lost all sense of where she is, what she's doing. She's being no help whatsoever.
No.
She's like fussing and fapping and like crying. We're like, listen, like you need to like have a plan here.
Yeah.
She's not like giving us an answer, so we're like, right, we're gonna call an ambulance because she needs to like get that seen to pretty quickly. So we call an ambulance and she's like fussing, and then I bring over like a first aid form for her and I'm like, I'm really sorry, like I know it's not the time, but we're gonna need you to fill in this form. And she was like, yeah, it's fine. So she puts it down. Oh, time is going. So right, we've got like one more story. And I feel like I've gone off. I have one more story after this. So I give her this form and she doesn't fill it out. And so the ambulance arrives and I'm like, excuse me, like, I need you to fill in this form. Yeah. And she's like, I can't right now, man. I'm like, I need you to fill in this form. Please fill in my form. Please, sir. I was like, I felt so bad because it was like, obviously her last priority was filling out this fucking form.
Yeah.
I was like harassing her like, form.
Please sign it before you go.
But I think in the end she didn't sign it, but I got the like mum of the party, like the one who organised it. She's like, can you just give me her details? Yeah. So I like covered my back that way. I felt so bad, but I was like, form.
Please, like that's your job. You were doing your job. No one can argue with you for that.
Yeah.
We had to like ring them, didn't we, a few days after? That was why we had the details, was to ring them as well and be like, is everything okay? Just to make sure there's no further problems. And that was the worst thing with like the friction buttons, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they'd have like a friction button like this.
You'd be like, hello, your daughter got a friction burn. Is it okay now? And the mum's like, yeah, it's fine. It's like, okay, thank you, bye. It's the worst job I had to do.
Awkward.
Was ring parents of kids with friction burns 5 days later to make sure the friction burn was okay.
And it always was.
Always. They were like,
right, I have one more story, which I told you last time. You're going to have to pretend that it's your first time hearing it, okay?
Okay, Oscar-winning actress.
Occasionally with parties, you would have parents who are more difficult than other parents.
Yeah.
And you could usually tell this from the first time they'd come in and book the party because they'd be like asking all the questions and everything. And like when you've been like booking parties for a while, you notice like put on the like form like maybe give this one like a more experienced host, like someone who really knows what they're doing rather than a newer one. So before this party came in, we already knew that this man who'd booked it, the dad, was already pretty like particular. And so we'd made sure to put on a really good host with him. We made sure that everything was going to be good. He'd made loads of requests beforehand. We had to be like, no, you can't do these things. So before this party even started, I went up to host and I was like, here's the deal. Like, the dad is quite particular, but like, it should all be fine. Just do your job. You're a good host. I know what you're doing. You'll be fine. So he comes in. He immediately starts requesting this and that and like all these random things. And most of the time, if it's something we can do, we would do it.
Absolutely.
But basically, he wanted us to... No, first of all, I think he wanted to go up to the room early. So basically what they do, the parties, it'll be an hour and a half playing downstairs, and then they go upstairs to the party rooms for half an hour at the end of the party, where they're to eat, do the cake and all stuff like that. So he comes up to the person who was like in charge of all the parties, and he's like, I want to go up to the room early. And the party manager person had to be like, I'm really sorry, but we can't do that. Like, there's 4 parties at the same time as yours. All the food is cooked together. Like, that's just not possible, I'm afraid. So he like kicks off a little bit about that, but like, we can't let him. So he's like, right, so I want all the tables taken out of the room, and I want them to have a disco in the room. No, we can't take the tables out of the room, because then they'd be in the hallway. That's a health and safety thing, and you've only got half an hour upstairs.
Yeah.
So we can't take the tables out. They've got to stay in there because you've only got half an hour. You've only got time for the kids to sit in there, eat, do the like happy birthday, cut the cake, and then go.
Be off.
Then he was like, oh, I want Elsa to come and see my daughter. Now, all the party rooms upstairs were like themed, so we had one room that was Frozen themed, but that party was booked, so he couldn't have the Frozen themed room for his daughter, or Ice Kingdom room. Copyright, Disney.
Right, yeah.
So he had to have a different room, but he wanted Elsa to come and see his daughter. So we basically said to him, like, listen, if Elsa has time, Elsa might be able to pop up, but we can't make you any promises.
Yeah.
Is pretty much the gist of it. And I feel like this is important to say, he was Indian. The family was an Indian family. So the first bit of the party goes fine, hour and a half downstairs. We take him upstairs, and Elsa goes and makes a visit. Because
well done, Elsa.
We went out of our way to make sure that Elsa could go and visit. And Elsa ended up staying the entire time they were upstairs. So for the price of one host, he got 2, because the one host who was assigned to the party was so overwhelmed that she was just like, she's like, I can't do this on my own, like, you need to help me out. So Elsa stayed for the party, so this guy got a free Elsa. They're upstairs, I don't really hear anything of it, so I go upstairs and I'm like cashing up all the tills in the office, no problem whatsoever. Then once I finished cashing up, this party should have ended at 6:30.
Right.
No, 5:30.
5:30.
This party should have ended at 5, it should have ended at 5.
Right.
Sorry, I got there eventually. So I'm like cashing up all the tills, and then I come out with like the fresh tills to take downstairs, and I look at my watch and I'm like, it's 5:20 and he's still there, and his hosts are still cutting up the cakes. So I like put the tills down, like go up to the host, and I'm like, have you told them they need to make a move on? So we've got more parties coming upstairs in about 10 minutes time, so he needs to be gone, that room needs to be clean for the next batch of parties to be up here in 10 minutes. And the host's like, yeah, I've said to him, but he's not moving, like they're just still sat there.
I hate that attitude.
So I'm like, right, okay, and I sort of wait a few more minutes. The girls are cutting up the cake, and I'm like helping them get their cake into like the bags and stuff. And then it gets to like 25 past, so I just like turn around and I'm like, right guys, if you could please just like start to make your way downstairs. We've got other parties coming up in a couple of minutes, so if you could just like start to make your way down, put your shoes on. I sort of said to the kids and all the adults, which like is what the host does at the end of the party anyway.
Yeah.
By the way, guys,
it wasn't like you did anything out of the ordinary.
No. And the dad like stands there and stares at me, and I'll never forget, he was in this green velvet suit.
Oh my god, how extra!
It was really snazzy. You would have actually quite liked it. It was very
play
Luke suit.
centre, I don't think I would.
It was very
that.
snazzy for a party at a kids' play centre, and he just like stared at me, and I was like, shit.
Here we go.
He ain't happy. But I'm like still there trying to help the host like get the cake into the party bags and like get all their stuff done. And the dad like comes marching out to me. He's the only one who really paid attention. Nobody else really like looked up or anything.
Right.
And he's like, can I speak to you? And I'm like, yeah, sure, if you want to speak to me. So he takes me like a few like doors down to like one of the other themed party rooms. He's like, I cannot believe you just did that. And I was like, sorry, did what? So you just embarrassed me in front of all of my guests. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, but your party ended 25 minutes ago, so I'm just letting you guys know that you need to like make a move. He was like, couldn't you have told me? And I was like, well, both the hosts have already told me that they have told you, and clearly you're not listening. So it's only natural for it to like be announced to everyone. So maybe some of the parents could start like making a move. Maybe they didn't realise it was the end of the party. And he's like getting angry, and he kept saying, and this is why it was important for me to tell you that he's Indian, in my culture, you would never ever do that. He was like, it's the worst thing you can do to embarrass somebody in front of everyone else. He was like, you've just embarrassed me in front of all of my friends, all of my colleagues. I cannot believe you just embarrassed me like this. And I was like, again, I'm really sorry, but your party's ended 25 minutes ago. We should have kicked you out 20 minutes ago. We've got other parties coming up in 10 minutes. If you don't go downstairs and we've got another party downstairs, who's going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
And
again, you're just doing your job.
I'm just doing my job
all the time.
And this was my last week before I left, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I had 1 week left, so I was just done with anyone's shit. And he just keeps going to me, in my culture, in my culture, in my culture, in my country. And I'm just thinking, like, we have a lot of parties from like with Indian families, like a lot.
Yeah.
And you are the only one who's ever had this problem, ever. Anytime.
Oh.
Ellie. So he's just like, and he's like progressively getting angrier and angrier, and he's like getting closer to my face, and he is like screaming and spitting in my face, and he's getting so angry, and he keeps telling me that I've embarrassed him, all the while he is screaming at me in full ear view. Ear range.
I know what you're trying to say.
Me and Luke are filming a video.
Very bright in here.
It's very
Isn't
bright
it?
here.
Yay.
Take a sniff.
Do you smell nice?
Some horses.
Oh, yum.
Yeah.
And so he keeps telling me I've embarrassed him while screaming at me in front of everyone. Stop coughing.
Actually can't.
And so eventually he's I can't remember what he said. I think I told it better in the last video. I could remember more details, but it's been a while. Anyway, in the end, he's screaming at me in my face, and I'm thinking, like, I could just slap you right now. I was like, you are this close, you're screaming at me that I've embarrassed you whilst embarrassing yourself in front of everyone. And I'm thinking, like, I could lose my shit right now. I was like, I could not believe I've got a grown man screaming in my face. But I didn't. I just literally turned around and I just walked away. Nice. And he's screaming just like into thin air as I'm like gone. And as I'm in the office, he's still screaming.
It's probably the best thing you could have done.
And so he said to me at one point, he was like, well, if your host did their job properly and cut the cake quicker, then maybe we could have got out soon. And I was like, you've got 2 hosts when you should only have 1. Yeah. One of the hosts has stayed after her like finishing time to help you. I was like, it's not their problem.
No.
I was like, they're doing the best they can. I know they've already got about 10 party bags already finished, so just hand those out, get the kids out. But anyway, so he goes back and he's like asking the host, like, what's her name? Who is she? Like, I'm going to complain about her. Both the hosts turn around and say, sorry, we don't know.
Love that. What a team.
Completely denied knowing me. And that is the end of my story.
I love that story.
It's a great story,
I feel like it's probably one of those that's good in hindsight, but was awful at the time.
Yeah, it was a great. I think I did like cry a little bit afterwards.
I'm not
so I was like, it was very intense.
Yeah,
having like a grown man screaming that far from your face.
I would probably cry as well.
But that's it. No more stories for you?
No,
we're done. Any stories for you?
I think that's worrying enough.
Ellie? What the fuck?
No, not really.
No, nothing dramatic happened to you in your time there?
Well, it was all dramatic.
I was thinking we should do a video where we decorate gingerbread houses.
Oh, cute.
In like December.
Okay.
Maybe get Simone involved in it, maybe Ellie can get involved and have a little competition.
Crafty.
Yeah. Right, on that note.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Thanks for watching.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Now we've got to take a thumbnail with Ellie watching.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
With me watching.
He's gonna throw water at us.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Okay.
Oh, you know.